Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's looking more and more like we're going to come down into this. I guess if you guys call it a demand zone. This goes back to the November high, and I call this like the legal uncertainty area in here that goes down to the January low. Looks like it's going to be another test there after we broke down from this ascending. Well, I could call it a flag if you want to, and there's the cloud resistance there and coming
Wow.
down. So coming back down into this 80-cent area a little bit deeper seems like almost a given at this point. I still struggle with the idea that we're going to see this, pass down again to the May 19th low. It seems like that's just a bit extreme to me. I think this low is more where you're going to see support come in and you're going to see a bottom.
Okay. Okay.
That's on a 4-hour chart.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like
that's
interesting to see the is that the 200 day MA?
yeah. The pink is the 200-day simple moving average there. So
Interesting.
so
Interesting to see
if
that.
you call this a bear flag, taking this distance here and putting it out takes you down here to 40, I say 45 cents. That just seems a bit extreme, you know.
Yeah.
But once again, you see in here, you have the development here. There's really no volume, which is consistent. That's why you make this rebound as corrective. I mean, whenever you have a lack of volume, you're talking about a corrective bounce, which was a tell that more weakness probably was coming around the corner, and now we're starting to get that. And yesterday you had a bearish outside day, which is never a good thing to see, particularly within the context of a developing downtrend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
low, the 29th area, 29th, 30th low is probably really key. If I was a buy or a trader in this, I would probably test that with a pilot buy and see
At
how it goes.
80 cents basically.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
around yeah, those lows, 29th, 30th.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Like I was seeing something similar. I was actually looking at a potential descending triangle. Let me share my screen real quick. Are you done by the way, Sean?
Yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Cool. Let me just share my screen real quick with you guys. And yeah. So for XRP, yeah, I'm sharing now. Yeah, so for XRP, I was also kind of like looking at this. As you can see, let me turn off all of these indicators. So I was looking at this kind of like ascending triangle, right? Which already broke this level right here, but because of the RSI, right, I kind of like created this trend line right here, but I'm basically cheating. Uh, but yeah, I was looking at a potential target of, I believe it was like 40% from this here. Yeah, 30% actually. So we had like the breakout, right? Then we had the retest, which is always nice to see, and now we have a potential 33% downswing to 64 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I believe that XRP could potentially come and retest this low, or basically make a lower low than on what day was this? Let me check. Basically May 23 of 60. It could come down to 65 cents, and from there we could see what else happens. But other than that, I mean, from a non-chain perspective, I do see the whales holding 1 million to 10 million coins. They seem to, after just doing nothing with the recent downswing, they seem to be buying. But of course, the bigger whales have been selling for a little while. So yeah, I mean, also the MVRV 30D is also on the buy the dip zone. And then for network growth, the network growth is actually declining, but it is interesting to see that during the recent downswing, we actually had a little spike. I mean, I would say it was just like a few coins, right? But you had actually a little bit spike of all coins moving on the network, which is actually an indication of high volatility, you know. But for XRP and for the XRP army, hopefully they don't hate us that much. But I don't. I mean, the support level can certainly hold, right? I mean, where it's actually sitting right now, because I mean, if we go back a
Well,
little bit, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say that there's a governing inverse head and shoulders pattern. You know, if you take a look at the weekly,
Let me check.
and that 80-cent level corresponds to the shoulder from December,
Mm-hmm.
September 2018. So, you know, if we don't hold there, you know, there's a pocket there of where the price could fall a lot. So that's where you get that governing inverse head and shoulder patterns provide you with like a 600 and some percent advance.
Yep. Let me draw it right here for audience. Basically, right shoulder,
Yeah,
head, and kind of like, yeah, like another, basically the right
shoulder.
shoulder
Yeah.
right here, and then the target that Sheldon is talking about, right? He basically, of course, in crypto you gotta go from the bottom up, right, which is a 600% target, which could have or could bring the XRP to around $5, right?
Hmm.
So basically, I mean, from a
I'm thinking long term, like this is, you know.
yeah, and also like this, if this is actually happening, right? If this is the governing pattern behind XRP, it is always nice to have a retest of the neckline of the pattern, right, before a continuation of the uptrend, right? So if this were to be actually the governing pattern behind XRP, then this retest is potentially bullish, right? So for a long-term perspective, you'll be looking to buy around this price level, right? Before a 600% upswing to kind of like 5.50. But right now, we need to hold above basically 80 cents. Failing to
Hmm.
hold about 80 cents, then we could potentially go down to 60, yeah, 60 cents first, right? Which you can see right here. And then the next support level that I'm seeing, I don't know if you guys agree with this, is basically around here on like 44 cents, right? What do you say, Sheldon?
Yeah, I mean, there's the 200-day simple moving average. It comes in at what is it here? At 71 cents, which
71 cents,
was
yeah.
during the night of the 23rd decline. That's where it found support. So we'll see if it holds again. That will be sort of a, if it doesn't hold, that's a change in personality, and then I think that will trigger lower prices.
Yeah. Also interesting to see that on the weekly we continue to hold right above the middle Bollinger Band, right? But
Hmm.
a break of that middle Bollinger Band, right? If we just look at the Bollinger Bands, right, could be, could potentially throw you to the 50-week moving average, which is kind of like the target that we're looking at, right? So we definitely want to hold above this zone right here, right? Let's say let's call this demand zone from 84 all the way to 71, as Sheldon was saying, based on the daily, on the 200 day moving average. We also see the Bollinger Bands squeezing, right? We probably have like, more consolidation before the next major price movement, but yeah, really, really, really good to see it from a long term perspective, right? Because like, some people might be freaking out right now, but I mean, as long as this level holds, XRP, looks good. Still looks good. I mean, if the pattern actually continues, I mean, if the retest of the neckline resolves to the upside, right? What about you, Akash? Do you see anything different than what we're seeing?
No, I actually kind of agree with the long term thing because XRP usually has these massive spikes after like a really slow step correction phases. So I think $5 isn't out of the realm of possibility. So I just want to show you, like for now, I have a really short term outlook for XRP, which is the same thing, right? Uh, so one thing that I look at is after like a massive sell off or like a bounce back from it, I set up the ranges and I see like this is the 50, the equilibrium range, right? Like we get down below 50, we get into this particular zone, and then we like shoot up again. Something similar is happening here, and right now I
I
haven't
don't think
seen it.
you're sharing your screen, Akash. Sorry about that.
Oh shit, hold on, yeah, one second. Right, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this was a sell-off that happened here, and then the price kind of is trying to move back a bit again. So what I do is I set up these ranges from this low to this high, the highest high, and every time it moves below 50, it shoots up. Moves below 50, it shoots up. Right, so this could change, but for now, I would gone long if we kind of tested this zone here, but we haven't. So I'm kind of expecting a little bit of weakness around here, which kind of falls in line with what I have for BTC right now. So the first scenario is like we shoot up, close above 50, and then kind of sweep sweep the lows here and then go higher. These are three targets that I'm looking at. But if not, I would love for it to come back and enter this zone before I go long. And like I mentioned, like this structure could change, like below 50 and then we spike, below 50 we spike, but it could change.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, there's no way to predict that. So uh, that way I would have my stop losses protect me, right? So I'm expecting that one as well, right?
Yeah.
So, but a dip into this 62 or 70.5, I'm gonna go long.
Interesting. Interesting. So
Yeah,
basically, we're
that
putting a
pretty
lot of
much
attention to
aligns
that
with the
zone. Yeah.
neckline. So
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Sheldon.
What do you say,
no,
Sheldon?
that pretty much aligns with the neckline of that governing head and inverse head and shoulders pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's why it makes it like a high
Probability.
percentage trade. You have it's a good risk area to
Mm-hmm.
It's a
for
good
the
risk
trade
area to
run.
long, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But
Also,
if you were too long here, yeah, you said that you will basically leave your stop loss around the 200 day moving average, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I might add, to be honest.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Like I in these situations I always start with pilot buys or
Mm-hmm.
pilot shorts and see if let the market prove itself. I don't need to, I'm not out to prove myself to the market. The market needs to prove itself to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets a little bit weaker, then I'll add in the 200 and average down and then see where it takes me from there. But I would never start with a full position.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
From a risk management perspective, that's just not the way to go.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so another thing that I want to add here is that
Yeah.
the spike that we're looking at to $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see these spikes accompanied by these step-like corrections, right? So this is a little bit of an exception. Uh, a short correction and then a large spike. This is basically a bar pattern. So yeah, I think it's totally possible. Like $5 XRP is possible if the larger ecosystem continues to rally.
Man, so
And
so
of course, if the SEC clears
yeah,
and all those fundamental things align properly.
Yep.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Definitely, the SEC is something to pay attention to. I mean, to always look at it, especially if you're trading XRP, right? But yeah, anything else you may see, Akash?
Yeah, I think this is the only group of investors that kind of align with the has been in sync
Mm-hmm.
with the price rise. So and these guys are kind of buying here. So if you do want to go there, like this is a very minor uptrend here.
Yep.
But apart from that, nothing. The funding rate is too low. There's nothing happening, and not a lot of people are excited about longing XRP here, which shows that the retail is kind of getting a little. knowledgeable this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's nothing else for XRP.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So basically, if you're looking to trade XRP, pay close attention to that demand zone between 82 and kind of like 71, where the 200-day moving average sits, right?
Yep.
If we hold above that, right, from a longer perspective, it seems that this could be the neckline of head and
Inverse head and
shoulders
shoulder.
pattern that could throw you to $5, which represents a 600% upswing from the current price level. So we gotta pay a lot of attention to the 82 cents to 71 cents demand barrier, right?
Mhm.
Cool. So